Hey friends, we're the Nixon Pack. I'm Kaylee.
And I'm John.
And we are realtors, home designers, and
DIY.
And today we have an awesome house for you. It is a contemporary with a little bit of a European flair design. We're talking a
techie DIY.
And it's chock full of real estate nuggets, like how to stack up when you have a lot of competition around. It's one you aren't gonna wanna miss, so let's go.
ID, ma'am? Oh, sorry.
Hey, look at all this light.
Yeah.
Oh wow, you guys, I can tell this already feels so spacious and bright. Look at this entryway, John.
Ceilings
How regal.
open all the way up, 2 floors in the great room, but then the foyer does the exact same thing.
Doesn't this feel so like fancy?
It does.
I love this. All right, take a look at all of the molding here. You know, I'm a big fan of doing something to make this pop even more. Imagine putting some wallpaper in the molding, but maybe if this isn't your style, if this is a little bit too rich, you want to make it more modern and clean, this is something where you could remove the molding.
You could,
right?
Yep.
And maybe just do an accent wall instead.
And there's 2 ways of looking at this room. There's payers and there's doers. A payer loves this room because they can pick any idea that they want and they can pay someone to do it. A doer might have a little bit of a shake because I know, Kaylee, wallpaper, trim color, wall color, multiple layers of tape. I'd live in here for a month.
But I don't pay you. Today's design, we are headed to Greece. Doesn't it feel like it with these columns?
Or some people call them poles, and you know what? I don't know if that's the pole that I'd want in my house.
We are talking about columns and what you can do about them. So you might walk in and this is totally your style and you are really feeling this design. You're gonna design around it and really make these stand out. Or they might not be your personal aesthetic. Either way, we've got an option for you. So number one, if they are not your aesthetic and you don't really like them blocking kind of your sight lines as you walk in.
But sometimes for furniture, it is nice to close off a space to designate the room.
Absolutely. But if they are not load bearing, you have the option to take them completely out. How do we test for that?
And if you do take them out, you want to remember you're most likely going to have to redo the hardwoods because they've been sitting there.
That's right.
With wear and tear that are around those poles, they're going to show that the poles were still there. But you go downstairs, and if your floor joists are running one way, your hardwoods run the opposite way, you can figure out which load is load bearing.
Okay, if you're going to keep them, because obviously it is a big expense to not only take them out, but then have to repair the floors, I have a couple of options for you design-wise. One, what if you did some faux painting on these? I know you're not a huge fan of faux paint, so we could see John's thoughts on that. Another thing, you could replace the columns with something a little bit more sleek and modern. Maybe you want to do a metallic look, or maybe you want just something a little bit more narrow, so you could do that. Another thing that I like is bringing some additional texture into it. So potentially, if you're into that farmhouse chic, you could go a little modern farmhouse and do some squared off maybe barnwood look or cedar look.
Or you could do stone if you want to box them off.
I like the stone idea, very good. All right, so we're talking about how open this is, but I like how they've kind of differentiated this space with the different flooring.
Now, we know the Nixon Pack is a little bit against carpet.
I mean, 5 dogs, you have to be against the carpet,
maybe when
right?
they're out, which we're not pushing for them to, but carpet right now is not really our thing. What would you do in here?
You know what I would love to see in here? I just did a poll on our Instagram stories and asked our friends at home and said, what do you guys think? Do you like mixed materials in your house, or do you like to have a cohesive look? And the vast majority voted for a cohesive look. But again, I like the differentiation here. So what I think I would do instead is put hardwood floors here and do it in herringbone pattern. So you still have that designation of the open space, but defined.
I also think you could do a killer crossover in the living room and throw the basketball hoop up here. If she's talking about parquet floors, there's only one place to play basketball. While we're also in here, I want to mention you can redo the inlay here around the gas fireplace. You need to have a hearth installed when it's a wood burning fireplace, because if there's sparks that fly out, you don't want it to catch fire. But with this a gas burning fireplace, you might want to bring the hardwoods right to the...
And do you know what I would do, John? This is such a grand wall, and this is such a statement wall and a big feature when you walk into this space. I feel like it needs something a little bit more grand. This would be a really great DIY opportunity. Maybe you do stacked stone, add a larger mantle, a little bit something more beefy.
And would you do the curtains or no curtains on this?
I would not, because you are really lucky lucky in this space to not have anybody behind you, so I don't think you need anything blocking all that gorgeous light. John, I have to say, I am so pleasantly surprised with the size of this kitchen. Here's another example where the photos online can be really deceiving.
Right.
Because the space is so grand in here and so open that it almost dwarfed the kitchen in the photos. But when you see it in real life, this is a great space.
It's not only a great space, the cabinets are in great condition, so all you would have to do is replace some hardware. You could leave them this way or paint them, bin them and paint them. Update the top of the countertops, and also with this island being that big, you can fit 6 people very comfortably.
In today's Real Estate Nugget, we are talking about the single most important thing when you are listing your home. I say it's price.
Or is it location, location, location?
It's still price. So your realtor is going to come to you with comps, and what those are comparable homes in the area. They are taking into account everything that has sold or went pending in the last 6 months, and these are crucial to pricing your home. So say they come to you with a number and you're just feeling like, oh, I need to eke more out of that. Let's try it at, say, $10,000 more. The Nixon Pack says, no, our advice is to price even 10% less, because you want to rise to the top. You want to be number one on every potential buyer's list, and you're going to do that by being the most competitively priced house in the neighborhood. That might even get you multiple offers. We love those.
And when you're convinced your price is the right price to sell the house at, but your agent says, you know what, we'll try your price, but in 2 weeks or a month, don't be upset if we have to do a reduction. Don't even go for it. They're the professional. They know where it should sell.
And you don't want a red tag on your house, because if you reduce and reduce, you're just begging for an even lower offer, and you don't want that.
Shows vulnerability, so it makes you think, you know what, let's go even lower. They have room.
All right, John, we're back at the front door, but it's not time to leave yet, because wait, there's more. We have so many clients who are looking for a first floor master, and this is a true first floor master suite. So we are actually in the living area right here, and imagine if you added a kitchenette over here. This would be such great in-law quarters, don't you think? If the 3,400 square feet upstairs isn't enough, you have a fully finished basement. John's got his poker face ready for his game over here, but there's so much space that you can do so much with. What, like a family game night area?
They're all set up for a movie theater. I want to let everybody know, upstairs, I noticed these are your support beams that are running this way. So if we went back upstairs, you could get rid of, I think, 3 of the 6 columns.
Fantastic. You also have a full bedroom down here and a full bath, and then tons of storage space that is left unfinished. So we asked you guys on the Nixon Pack Facebook page, what do you want to see for DIYs? And we heard a whole bunch of you say, we want some techie stuff for the home, but we want it to be easy. So what do you guys recommend? We have 2 for you today, and we love both of these and use both of these in our home. So I love the Nest Cam. Tell us about this, John.
Yeah, we're not talking about the pasta maker that I like to try to use on Sundays. Anyway, the Nest Cam, you can buy them in singles or in multiples, and you get them hooked up to the Wi-Fi that goes right to your phone. One thing to mention with the Nest camera specifically, I think it also works with Kellie's, which I don't want to jump to, but you can save 8 to 10% off your homeowner's insurance if you provide the receipt to your insurance company.
How great is that? These are super easy to install. I actually did them all in our house, so that tells you something. And it goes to your phone, so no matter where you are, whether you're in the house, you just want to check on your baby's room, it lets you know when there's movement or noise, and if you're out or on vacation, it's such a great security feature to have.
And this one we just stole off the house next door.
Oh, we did not, John. This is the Ring doorbell app, and this has saved us a bunch of time. So you know how you see those videos of people stealing packages off your front porch? It will not happen with this guy. And also, if you just don't want to answer the doorbell when it's the neighbor, you'll know who it is.
And just so everybody knows, you don't need to have a hardwire line. You charge the battery. It lasts for almost 6 to 8 months for a day's worth of charge, so you don't actually have to do any real work on the outside of your door. And on top of it, if you're wondering that the UPS man's making too many stops because someone's ordering too many things, I can check from anywhere.
John, get your catwalk ready, because I want to see.
I'm not that graceful. But you know what I
True.
can do? Being up here, I can say, hey, is dinner ready? Or can I bring anything down?
And look at all of the light that you have, you know, being able to see the front and the back. This is so lovely.
What's great about the master being on this side of the house is it actually has its own entrance and exit from stairways, 2 stairways.
A second staircase. So this is such a spacious master suite, and you even have a gas fireplace with some built-ins, a spot for your big TV, and then You got a cut there. So what'd you think? Thank you guys so much for coming along with us for this week's Walkthrough Wednesday.
And I'm searching the house for the cameras that Kellie put up.
Why? Oh, the Nest cams. Thank you guys. We can't wait to bring you along next week. If you like what you saw, subscribe. Please give us a thumbs up. And that little gesture means so much. You could never know how grateful we are to have you along for these house tours with us. We can't wait to see you next week.